we are going to get started with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today we've got our emerging leaders from Job and Family Services, and that's I don't know how many classes we've had of emerging leaders, but it's 10 classes. So our director, Joy Bivens, will come up and talk for a few minutes about emerging leaders, and then we get to congratulate our great 10th class, which is terrific.
Wonderful. Well, good morning, Commissioners, County Administration, and the viewers, as well as the audience. The Emerging Leaders Program was established in 2012 with the goal of providing continuing education, professional development, and skills to training to better prepare Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services employees for future leadership positions. Today, the 10th group in this program is graduating, and they're very happy, and I did not haze this group, Mr. County Administrator. The class of 12 employees attended the Emerging Leaders Program over a 6-month period with the opportunity to explore topics in depth such as project management, managing with data, contract management, the structure of county government, and the impact of public policy. New to the curriculum this year, the class discussed diversity and inclusion in the workplace. While each group is unique and with special, this group came together early in the program to listen to each other, mentor each other, and support each other during the challenging times. I look forward to seeing each and every one of these individuals continue to grow with their leadership skills. Commissioners, as you know, this program again is intended to develop our up and coming leaders. I will tell you that we consider all these individual leaders, but during this class it was kind of special because first is working more on their strengths in addition to all the sessions that they attended. We really honed in on what are our weaknesses, because we know many times as leaders it is our weaknesses sometimes that will stifle us. I'm really proud of this group, and I would also like to acknowledge Leanne Whaley. She will be moving on. She was promoted. She's always organized the classes, put the binders together, kept me on track with keeping the class together. But she has been promoted to project management within Job and Family Services, so this will be her last cohort, but we will pull her back as much as possible. So publicly, I would like to say thank you, Leanne, and to everyone else. Appreciate you. Now, if the class would please come. You all can stand right here, and they're going to do their 30-second.
Oh, their elevator speech, lovely. These are fantastic.
30 seconds.
Great.
Yes, all right. I'm going to sit down, and you all can do your elevator speeches and share with the commission. Don't be afraid of the microphone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Aisha Duncan, and I am currently a medical support services long-term care caseworker at Job and Family Services. My job is to determine eligibility for our aged, disabled, and blind population to assist them in providing additional care from HMO providers. I also help them understand their income and resource eligibility requirements and how that affects them. I am also a current Wellness Thrive One champion with the Franklin County Co-op. You don't grow an agency, you grow the people, and the people grow the agency. My passion, education, and background is in human resources, with an emphasis on organizational development and leadership. I want to grow my career within Franklin County in management and a leadership role, in the short term returning to the HR realm, and eventually becoming a director of human resources within Franklin County. Emerging Leaders has made me more self-aware of my strengths and weaknesses, and the program has allowed me to better understand my purpose, my branding, and my personal transparency, and to be a more effective leader in all that I do. Thank you so much.
Morning. Hi, my name is Toyana Ware. I am an eligibility specialist case manager at Job and Family Services. I've been with the county for 13 and a half years. I conduct phone interviews to explore eligibility for government benefits. My passion is to work with our clients more closely and to be in a position that is more engaging and hands-on. The Emerging Leaders Program taught me a lot about myself, leadership, and the type of leader that I am. And I would love to be in a position that allows myself to be, allow others to be sufficient and give guidance. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. It's nice to see you all today. My name is Kayla Landry and I'm a case manager. I'm located on site at Mount Carmel St. Anne's Hospital, where I work with customers who are facing medical issues. They're often in need of medications and even nursing home placement. I take pride in helping customers get Medicaid coverage so that they can focus on getting healthy and getting back to their productive lives. In addition to being a case manager, I've also represented the agency at a number of community events, such as the Celebrate One baby showers. I consider myself to be an up-and-coming leader, and I would one day like to have a supervisory role here at Franklin County. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be in the Emerging Leaders Program, as I've learned a great deal of information in regards to leadership skills and communication. I'm very motivated to take all that I've learned and put it into play, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life as well. I've learned so much throughout this, and I'm really excited for my future here at Franklin County, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
That's great.
Thank you.
Good morning, County Commissioners and County Admin. My name is Brian Cahill. I first started working for Franklin County Department Job and Family Services in 2007. I won the 2014 Employee of the Year Award. With great honor, I took that opportunity to work in the Medical Support Services Department, helping clients on Medicaid, get to their dialysis treatments and doctor appointments. Currently, I'm the mailroom supply room supervisor with 2 years of supervisor experience. And this December, I will receive my associate's degree in business management, and I will be planning on furthering my education with a bachelor's degree in business administration. I have a passion mentoring, building relationship, and coaching youth sports. My future goals is working directly with senior management, continue to provide leadership, invest in employee development, and serve as a deputy director in my own department. I learned an Emerging Leaders Program development is important because it helps businesses and agencies create employee growth, builds loyalty, improves employee performance and job satisfaction, and brings positive employee retention and empowerment. Regardless of where my professional journey leads me in my future roles and responsibilities, JFS has given me countless opportunities and have put me on the path of success. I'm a valuable asset to our agency because I collaborate well with others, build professional and meaningful relationships, and rise above office politics, and loyalty is my most valued asset. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Shook, and I've been with JFS for about 3 years. I started the Emerging Leaders Program as a case manager, doing one-on-one interviews with customers over the phone. And through the Emerging Leaders Program, I learned what it takes to be a leader and gained essential tools for my professional development. I was able to take what I learned and actually get a promotion, and I'm now currently the supervisor of the Northland Lobby area. I lead a team of 18 amazing clerical staff as we assist the many customers who come through our doors each day. We in many ways shape the public's perception of Job and Family Services, and I take that responsibility very seriously. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this program. It taught me so much about leadership, and now I know that I am a leader.
Good morning. My name is Gwen Wong, and I've been with the agency for 2.5 years. I work in development support services as a social program developer. I am responsible for contract management, and I ensure that our providers are in compliance with our funding requirements. In life, I have been told that I am bossy. Through this Emerging Leader Program, I've realized I'm not bossy. I'm demonstrating my leadership skills. This program reminded me that it is okay to have standards and expectations. I should always be true to myself and walk in my authenticity both professionally and respectfully. I've learned that my personal brand and ethical leadership not only contributes to how people perceive me, but also it demonstrates who I am and the quality of my work ethic. Next week, I will start a new position in a different department. I have been promoted to social service supervisor in child care. I look forward to utilizing the skills and knowledge that I have gained from this program and sharing with others. I would like to say thank you to you, to Director Bivens, and the entire leadership staff for nurturing this community of learners. I look forward to supporting the team as we support providers in becoming Step Up to Quality Rated.
Good morning. My name is Christopher Watson. I'm a unit clerk in Unit 5110 at Job and Family Services. I assist our clients in getting expedient benefits. If they come in with all their verifications, I'm top of the food chain and making sure that they get their benefits on time. Since I've been here at Job and Family Services, I've had the pleasure of serving on two projects, the Ohio Benefits Business Project and the Benefit Resolution. I did find that in the Emerging Leaders Program, I did find a love for project management. I would like to go further in that endeavor as well. Emerging Leaders taught me that there are many things that I can do in my professional and personal life to be more efficient, and the three scope as far as, scope, time, and budget are the three things that are most important when it comes to making a project, and I've applied that to my everyday life.
Good morning. My name is Virginia Hollins. I have been with the agency for 8 years. I am a case manager in the hearings department. I represent the agency when it's a face-to-face or phone interview when a customer disputes any actions or inactions taken on their case. I have also recently decided to further my leadership skills by helping implement a new training manual for my area. The Emerging Leaders Program has developed me into a leader. I've emerged from being just a county employee to an emerging leader. I thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate what you do for the county employees and the residents of Franklin County. Have a good day.
Good morning. Thank you to the commissioners for giving us this time to come in and introduce ourselves to you. My name is Sarah Regal. I work in the finance department at JFS. I ensure that all of our funds get allocated correctly and that everything's reported to the state the way it's supposed to be. Through the Emerging Leaders Program, I've learned about lots of interesting areas, but in particular things like different leadership styles, the importance of communication at work, the importance of having a personal brand at work, and I hope to take what I've learned through this process and use it to eventually get a more advanced position in county government where I can use my analytical and research skills to better serve the citizens of Franklin County. So thank you again.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lawrence Forte. I'm a long-term care caseworker at Franklin County. I am the individual everyone speaks with eventually when they have a family member go to the nursing facility, assisted living, or even have a home health aide come to their home. It's already a tough decision to have to make that decision. A 10-minute conversation with me can make all the difference in the world. Being in the Emerging Leaders Program has helped me so much. It helped me understand where I can move around Franklin County as a career. It was something I wanted to know, not just with JFS, but moving around. It was very important for me to know that I had options in order to stay and put my loyalty with Franklin County. And I did really appreciate the opportunity to do that. And I use my project management in everything I do in every aspect of my life, which is helpful. So having that time, hopefully that I can get my face out there, recognition, and so when I do get ready to move around Franklin County, you guys will remember me with the Emerging Leaders Program. That being said, I am also coordinating the African American Wellness Walk this year for Job and Family Services, August 10th. I implore everyone to come out, join it. It's free to come. The walk is a 5K walk or run. It's at the corner of Livingston and Parsons. You can't miss it. If you do, you're at the wrong place. We would like you to be there. The run starts at 9:30, so be there around 9 o'clock. There is a health screening which starts at 7 and goes till noon. That's the most important part of it. We want people to come out and get the health screening, but the walk is also a portion of it. So make sure you come out, show support, and enjoy life.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Cheyenne Howard. 5 years ago, I was homeless with a premature newborn without a high school diploma. I found myself on a one-way bus to anywhere shortly after my father's sudden death. Not too long after I arrived in Columbus, I became pregnant with my second son. I waitressed for a few years to provide for my sons. At the time, I felt that the odds were against me. I was a single mother receiving government assistance, working to barely make it while my son's father was incarcerated. Regardless of the obstacles, I knew I had to persevere. Shortly before beginning my training class with JFS, I received my high school diploma. While in my training class, I enrolled myself into Columbus State and received a full-time position within the call center. On December 14th, I received a phone call that I lost my mother to addiction. Although it was extremely difficult to fathom, moving on, my mother's death strengthened my drive to finish school and focus on my career. It's not easy to talk about, but I feel extremely empowered talking about it in front of everybody today. I wouldn't be standing in front of you if it wasn't for emerging leaders. Amongst many things, the most important thing that I've learned is to have complete confidence within myself. I've learned that I have every right to speak up for myself, as well as an obligation as a leader to speak up for people's voices who are seldomly heard. Midway through Emerging Leaders, I decided to take a leap of faith. I changed my major from social work to public administration. During our sixth session, we came downtown to speak with the commissioners. This is when I realized I can ultimately help more people by changing my major. This class made me realize that I could truly make a difference on a bigger scale. With that being said, I would like to speak a little on bias that I would like to personally get rid of. At one point, I overheard someone speak upon a Cadillac driving, welfare receiving mother. It struck a nerve within me that I didn't even know was there. I say that because I was a mother receiving public assistance driving a Cadillac. I was blessed to have my grandmother who was able to provide me with a car. But the car didn't change the fact that I was struggling to provide. I was struggling to better myself. I was struggling to get out of poverty, and I was struggling to break every chain. My point of saying this is to challenge everyone in here not to judge a book by its cover. My ultimate goal is to ensure that each person that walks through our doors leaves feeling uplifted and not judged. I'm an example of how a single mother can use public assistance benefits and the supports of leadership like Ms. Shonda Wingo and Ms. Joy Bivens, and many others who not only helped me to overcome barriers, but seen the strength and leadership within me before I seen it in myself. We all need a little uplifting and less judgment. Our challenge as emerging leaders was to demonstrate how we're an asset to Job and Family. I'm an asset because I intend to challenge the JFS team, starting with everybody today, to join me in inspiring others to engage in the uplifting of those in need of, including our peers and customers. Thank you.
As you can tell, we have been on a journey, and everyone's journey was different, and I am really proud of this group. And again, boss, I did not haze them. They say otherwise, but I really appreciate their sincerity in allowing us to really work with, not just kind of skirt through sessions and just kind of get information, but to really hone in. And what I said to them was, you know, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But in order to stay, to get ready, I need to know what your weaknesses are, so we can shore those things up and work on each other and better each other, and I think they've done that. So thank you.
We want to get a picture for sure.
Absolutely. Tremendous group.
Wow.
You go first. Okay, good job. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. We have another guest before we start the agenda, and it's Kristin Easterday, Director of Government Affairs for the John Glenn Airport. Kristin, welcome, and I know you've got someone else that you want to introduce and talk a little bit about all the great things going on at the airport. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I think there might be a new phrase. You never want to go after the JFS folks.
We've got some
so
great
impressive.
professional staff throughout county government, and none more so than who work for all of our agencies. It's terrific people.
Kudos to you and your leadership to develop such wonderful, wonderful leaders within the county government. So kudos to you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today and provide a few updates about what's going on with the Columbus Regional Airport Authority. And as you well know, one of our highlights is John Glenn Columbus International, but we have a deep history also with the county with Rickenbacker International Airport, and then of course we have Bolton Field within the county as well. So much going on, and glad to continue that partnership because I know that the county is doing some work around planning and economic development aligned with MORPC's most recent Rickenbacker area plan, and we just wrapped up our Rickenbacker master plan, which is a look at 20 years inside the fence of that airport. And so we look forward to rolling out some of those initiatives and recommendations from those reports with you. Couple of other amazing updates. Growth is really the key word on all fronts. You might have seen some construction going on at the airport. We have two major projects. The Residence Inn we will be building, and that will add 120 new rooms next door to the airport. So we'll have that available for passengers and visitors. And one of our largest projects ever in the history of the airport is our consolidated car rental facility, which we were happy to have you when we broke ground in April. And that will allow us to have 1,400 new parking spaces for our parking garage, and it will allow our car rental folks to move into this new state-of-the-art facility and have all the amenities that they need out there. So we're really excited about that. I would be remiss if I didn't mention an event coming up in the fall. September 21st, we're going to have our third annual 5K run and walk on the runway. So if you've never walked on the runway, this is your opportunity. Come out and join us on September 21st, and all the proceeds go to Honor Flight Columbus. But usually people want to know the fun stuff, what's going on with passenger traffic. Again, growth is the key word. If you have not met Betsy Taylor before, I'd like to introduce you. She is the person that is on the ground maintaining the relationships with the airlines that we have today, as well as meeting with all the other airlines that we'd like to either grow their service at the airport or to bring them to the airport. So I'd like to introduce Betsy to give us a few facts about what's going on with the passenger growth.
Wonderful.
Good morning. As Kristin said, thank you for having us today.
Sure.
Just wanted to give a few updates on some of our air service successes at the airport. We've had 3 new nonstop routes launched to some of our most in-demand destinations that previously did not have nonstop service. So in March, nonstop service to Seattle, our most in-demand destination, has service with Alaska Airlines. We have daily nonstop service to San Francisco on United Airlines, and that launched in June. And then just a few weeks ago, new nonstop service to Salt Lake City began by Delta Airlines. So with all of this new success, we are seeing record-breaking growth at the airport. More passengers are flowing through our terminal every day than ever before. Year-to-date, passenger traffic is up 6%, and we're expecting even more traffic for the rest of the year. So thank you for your continued support for our air service offerings.
Thank you.
Any questions?
You know, it's been a great time for the Airport Authority, for the International Airport, John Glenn. And I know Rickenbacker is doing well, and there's lots of more potential for growth down at Rickenbacker. The nonstop flights are really in demand now for everyone, and I'm thrilled that you're working on that. Terrific work by the Airport Authority, so thank you.
I grew up out near Bolton Field, and I've been out there my whole life. I performed a wedding out there. I performed a wedding out there last summer. Not 19, but in 18, I performed a wedding out there, so that was a lot of fun. Rickenbacker, I'm down. It seems like I'm down there all the time. It's coming along well. I thank you for accepting my Facebook inquiry the other day about it wasn't a complaint at all about John Glenn International, because I'm there seemingly every other week these days. But my complaint about another airport in the United States, Kristin put up some fantastic stuff about her work at John Glenn International. I took the opportunity to complain about some other airport that I had recently been to, but I didn't put it on her public
Can't help
page.
you there with
I
the
know,
airport.
I know. I didn't put it on her public page because I didn't want to complain about another airport on Kristin's public page. But I did have an experience at another airport that it seems like I have every time I go to that airport, and I hope to never have to fly through that airport ever again in my life. But thank you for letting me vent to you for that. But no, it seems like we are at the airport more these days than ever, and it's really coming along. And I know the future is bright, and there's a lot coming, and including, new this and that, and bigger and better all the time. And so we look forward to it.
Thank you. The goal really is to provide service to our residents and to the businesses here. So anything we can do to make travel more efficient, please don't hesitate to let us know. We're proud to be your partner.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. On to the agenda items. We've got Domestic Relations Court.
Resolution 520-19, authorizing the state fiscal year 2020 to 2021 juvenile court grant agreement and funding application with the State of Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $7,826,268.88.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Reeves, Deputy Director. This resolution is requesting the approval of the 2020-21 funding application for the variable and base allocation with the Department of Youth Services. The court utilizes these grant funds to fund 40 positions, and we also contract with 43 community-based organizations that provide direct service to our youth. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 5/2019.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 520-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 521-19, authorizing various contracts for attendance services with Canal Winchester, Gahanna Jefferson, Groveport Madison, Hilliard, New Albany, Southwestern, and Whitehall City Schools in the amount of $215,549.
With me this morning is Julie Troth, our Director of Programs, to discuss this resolution.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. Our truancy intervention and prevention program reduces formal court filings related to truancy by partnering with these 5 local school districts to address barriers to attendance by providing services to youth and families within Franklin County. The districts will be reimbursed, will reimburse the court for 50% of the salary cost for each of the truancy officers. Just to give you an idea of the number of youth served, 1,800 youth and families were served in the 2018-2019 school year, with only 250 youth requiring formal court intervention, which is an 86% success rate. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there's no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 52119.
I'll second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 521-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The sheriff.
Resolution number 522-19, authorizing a mugshot system access agreement with the Ohio State University.
Anybody here from the sheriff's office? No? We'll skip that then unless
As usual.
okay. We'll come back to it. Franklin County Children's Services.
Resolution number 524-19, resolution declaring intent to proceed with the question of a renewal tax levy for the support of children's services and the care of placement of children to the electors of Franklin County at the November 5th, 2019 general election.
Good morning.
Good morning, President Brown, Commissioner Grady, directors. My name is Jerry Friedman, and I am here on behalf of our esteemed chairman, Jesse Hemphill, and the other members of the Human Services Levy Review Commission. After a thorough analysis of the Franklin County Children's Services levy request, committee recommends that the Board of Commissioners place a renewal of the existing 10-year 3.1 mill levy on the November 5th, 2019 ballot. Contextually, I think it's important for you to know that we have found that the Children's Services Agency has been a good steward of the funds that they manage. And if anything, our disagreements with them were around some procedural activities and perhaps an abundance of caution on their part, given the changing environment that they are facing. We know about the opioid crisis. There also has been new federal legislation that they're struggling to understand and implement, as well as ongoing questions with regard to the state budget. So they had originally come to us with a replacement levy. And after analyzing with the help of OBM, the impact dollar-wise, we did not see a problem with going forward with a renewal as opposed to a replacement. And in large part, it was because they have adequate reserves, and they also have another levy that will be here in 5 years, so we don't have to worry about this 10-year span before we can make a corrective action if in fact something were to pose a problem. And importantly, there's no additional cost to taxpayers. If you recall, the General Assembly did change the law with regard to state support, differentiating between renewal and replacement levies, and it would have been, I believe, the calculation a 28% increase if we had gone with a replacement as opposed to a renewal. And we just didn't think that in the current environment, having homeowners face that additional increase made any sense. So we are proposing a resolution that declares it necessary to submit the question of a tax levy for the support of children's services and the care and placement of children to the electors of the Franklin County at the November 5th general election. With a successful passage of this levy, Children's Services will be able to maintain quality services for the children and family of Franklin County who need them. And in closing, I just would like to thank very much the support of staff from OBM and the administrator's office in terms of our consideration of this levy and our review.
Well, Jerry, we certainly appreciate all the hard work and effort of the committee. You guys are always very, very diligent in your work on this. A lot of really great people serve on the commission, and so we appreciate that. We also, we had some conversation, I had some conversation, I know my colleagues did as well, with the folks from Children's Services in regard to this. And it's understandable that they would find going forward some modicum of heartburn as it relates to dealing with the federal and state government, going forward, as do most of us. But in the end, there's no question. I think it's the right call to recommend a renewal based on the fact that, as you stated, that this is, over a 5-year period, we have the ability to be able to come back and make corrective action. And so it's a prudent decision, so we appreciate that.
I'm in agreement, and thank you to the Levy Review Committee.
So if there's no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 524-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 524-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here today.
Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 525-19, authorizing the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services Director to enter into a sub-grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for the provision of the Refugee Support Services.
Commissioners, Joy Bivens, Director of Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services. Franklin County is the only Job and Family Services agency to receive state refugee services funding. In June, we were notified that we were awarded funds to help eligible newly arrived refugees across Central Ohio region to address challenging barriers to employment such as language, education, and work skills. This resolution will authorize the director and myself to enter into a sub-agreement with ODJFS to accept funds for state fiscal years 2020 through July 1st, 19 through June 30th, 2020, as well as enter to any future amendments for the continued provision of refugee services programming. We'll be following up next week with resolutions to award these grant dollars to our refugee service collaborative partners, ETSS, Community Refugee Services, CRIS, Jewish Family Services, and Us Together. Commissioners, I would like to make mention that we did inform the county administrator in previous years these dollars were, I believe it was a little over $1 million total. This year we're going to get about $563,676, which is about almost a 65% decrease. So those dollars will go to these agencies, but unfortunately it will be a substantial decrease from what they received in the past.
Director, we also got word yesterday there may be a further decrease from the federal government, and there was a call for a press event today from Us Together and some other of the refugee agencies that they're concerned there may be no funds allocated. Have you gotten any word?
We have not received any guidance from our state supervisor, that being Ohio Department of Job and Family Services.
Okay.
Yeah, they have awarded, they did agree to award these grant funds. But again, I really want to make sure that, just for the sake of the cameras, commissioners, these dollars are $563,676, which is about a 65% increase from previous years. So this year, our providers will probably
We'll get the funds for this year, and then we'll have to see. Yeah.
All right. If there's no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of 525-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 525-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Elections.
Resolution number 526-19, authorizing the transfer of general fund appropriations in order to provide the budgetary allotment for meeting August payroll and other obligations.
I'm going to move to table Resolution 526-19 until Thursday.
Thank you.
Second. Can you second?
Oh, I'm sorry, second.
Moved and seconded, voting
I
Commissioner.
thought it was just an act of kindness.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Second. Or yes. Sorry, I've been out a few weeks. We've been on,
Commissioner Brown.
out of practice.
Resolution 526-19 has been tabled.
Thank you. Okay. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 527-19, authorizing agreement with RAP Management LLC to partially fund a material handling project in the amount of $200,000.
Morning, Commissioners. Josh Roth, Senior Program Coordinator with Economic Development. The purpose of this resolution would authorize a sub-grant agreement with a company known as RAP Management. This is a grant that we applied for. We facilitated the application for back in February from the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency in their market development grant. And that application was successful. And so this will allow us to pass those funds through. And I don't know if you've ever been to an asphalt plant, but I've had the opportunity to take a tour of this one, which is to the south of the airport, and it's a really impressive facility. And this is a great story for Central Ohio if this business ends up becoming successful, because they've acquired some equipment that's first of its kind in the United States that allows them to put more recycled asphalt material into the asphalt product that they make. And so the purpose of this agreement is to help them acquire a material handling system that'll reduce the moisture content of the recycled product that they put into their plant, and then allowing them to increase their output of recycled content. So just an example, right now they're 40% ahead of where they were last year in their production. They produced 38,000 tons of asphalt last year with a recycled content of 35%. And this year, they've so far produced 65 tons of asphalt with a recycled content of 53%, which is 3 times the industry average. And so if they're successful, this is going to be a really good success story for Central Ohio.
Is this the tires that they're using or other recycled
No, this is
materials?
recycled asphalt that they literally mill off of the pavement and then put back into productive use.
Huh. Okay.
So pending any questions, I'd ask for your approval.
Need some of that for my driveway. Move approval of Resolution 52719.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution 527-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Resolution 528-19, entering into a funding agreement with the Economic and Community Development Institute to provide a minority contractor capital for construction program in the amount of $80,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mark Paxton, Economic Development Planning. This resolution will assist low and moderate income business owners in the construction industry in maintaining and growing their businesses. The business owners will obtain specialized training, technical assistance in all areas related to operating a business. They'll also have the opportunity to provide, have a chance to secure capital to also further the benefits of the businesses. In attendance is the General Counsel and President of ECDI, Mr. Fireman, to give a little detail and overview of the program.
Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, no problem.
First of all, it's great to see you. Usually here for good reason, and
Yeah.
so we're excited to see you. Ina sends her regards. She's had a personal commitment today. This is our 15th year anniversary, and the county in development has been with us the entire time and helped make ECDI what it is today. 15 years, we're the 3rd largest SBA microloan intermediary in the country. We've created 8,000 jobs, $1 billion of downstream economic impact, $53 million in loans, and 2,500 businesses. That's an average of about $25,000 a business. The reason I spend your time telling you about that is because what we do is create businesses and jobs and help right economic injustices to underserved and underbanked communities. This program that I hope that you're going to help us with, Capital for Construction, is Exhibit A, and I'm really proud of it, of a program that does just that. What we're trying to do is resolve the problem, the conundrum, the injustice that there hasn't been many minority, especially African American owned businesses, construction businesses that have grown literally in the last 25 or 30 years. I have a colleague, Nancy Tidwell, here with me, who's our partner in this, and she and some other stakeholders in the community came to us about 2.5 years ago and said, we need help with this problem because small construction companies can't grow, and we think it's both economic and social, but one of the big problems was they couldn't get on the jobs because of the pay cycle of construction jobs. You get paid 90 or 120 days later, and one of the big issues always is how do they buy their materials, how do they pay their people when they're waiting to get paid, especially when they're in the nascent stages. So we designed a specialized loan product which is based upon a joint check agreement, so that if a contractor comes to us with a contract and we can get them to sign off on a joint check agreement, we will advance them the money to do the job, and then ECDI gets paid at the end with a little bit of a fee. And this is so critical because it's enabled us to get many, many more minority construction companies on jobs. And we all know we're going through such a huge commercial construction boom, so now was the time to make that happen. The program has begun. We went to beta phase, and this is our first full year. Just some quick data. We've 284 unduplicated clients. We've done 35 loans for $1.4 million. And the other critical part about this, just like everything we do at ECDI, we can't just lend money to people that historically have been underbanked and unbanked. We have to provide technical assistance and training, and that's where you're going to help us out a lot as well. We've provided already 1,392 hours of technical assistance and 858 hours of training. The training classes are all specialized and related to the construction industry, and that's where Nancy and NRT and Associates has helped us design that program specifically for small construction contractors. Classes such as QuickBooks, which is coming up, legal classes, accounting, estimating, bidding, job matching seminars that she's had. It's been really a great partnership. We bring a lot of leverage to this, as we do with everything we do. We never ask the county for money without bringing tons of leverage. So we're bringing all the loan dollars that are actually going on the street through different partners. We also have partners in Chase and Wells Fargo that are helping out with some of the technical assistance and training. It's a great program. We think it has huge potential to continue to grow, and we respectfully ask your support in this endeavor.
It's clearly very important to note this is a part to the county's poverty reduction efforts. So.
Yeah, it also seems to fit with some of the work that Joy's doing through her department, and so there's a lot of synergy here with a lot of the work that we've been doing over the last many months. So this is exciting stuff, and it's great to be able to partner with ECDI again. A lot of the work that we've done with you over the years has been very successful. So this is an exciting opportunity. If there's no other questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 52819.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution 528-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution 529-19. Resolution entering into a service agreement with the Franklin County Conservatory and Botanical Gardens for a community garden grant program in the amount of $31,987.83.
This resolution with the Franklin Park Conservatory will provide grants for community gardens that either benefit low-income populations or reside in low-income neighborhoods. With the county's allocation, conservatory will grant funds to eligible organizations for the construction and capital expenses related to the maintenance or creation of those projects. Funding for this project has been approved in the 2018 action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Pending any questions, I respectfully ask approval of this resolution.
They've been great partners with this stuff. Move approval of Resolution 52919.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution 529-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Child support.
Resolution number 530-19, authorizing a contract with Performance Training Solutions, LLC, for the provision of employment training services for FCC SEA clients as a provider for the Families Forward demonstration in the amount of $48,965.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, representing the Child Support Enforcement Agency. This resolution authorizes a contract with Performance Training Solutions to provide Level 1 heavy equipment operation training to low-income non-custodial parents who are unable to fully meet their child support obligations. This contract is one of 3 occupational skills training tracks, which are part of a federal research study called the Families Forward Demonstration Project, or FFD. FFD will test a new employment-focused program whose goal is to identify effective strategies to improve earnings capacity and financial capacity building of non-custodial parents, thereby increasing their ability to support their children. The FFD program will offer occupational skills training and employment services within in-demand job sectors to help 150 non-custodial parents obtain and retain higher-paying jobs with potential for career advancement. According to labor market data, construction equipment operators, as you just heard, are in demand, and heavy equipment operation is considered a career field that's rapidly growing. Entry-level positions earn at least $19.69 an hour. Pending any questions, I request approval for this resolution.
If there's no questions, I'll move approval of 53019.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 530-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 531-19, authorizing a sub-grant award and contract for services with after-school All-Stars for Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention programs under fiscal year 2017 and 2018, Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act Block Grant in the amount of $75,000.
It's a mouthful. Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson on behalf of the Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Columbus After School All-Stars intends to provide targeted after-school services to up to 200 4th through 6th grade minority youth residing in some of our more at-risk neighborhoods and matriculating onto East or South High School, Walnut Ridge, or Mifflin High School. Programming will be offered from 3 to 6 p.m. 5 days a week and will focus on academic assistance, nutrition and vocational learning, as well as provide pro-social enrichment activities. Columbus After School All-Stars has a strong history of providing services here in Central Ohio, understands the emphasis our office and Title II funding places on outcome measurement, along with measuring pre- and post-involvement in the juvenile justice system. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this contract in the amount of $75,000.
There's no questions, I'll move approval of 53119.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 531-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 532-19, authorizing professional service contract with Ryan Newsom and 2-year contract extension with Marcia White and Valerie Coleman for peer support services through fiscal 19 Franklin County Public Health and Reallocation Grant in the amount of $26,000.
Commissioners, as you're well aware, approximately 2 years ago, our office began employing peer support specialists to work with our justice-involved targeted population. And specifically, they've worked with our justice-involved female population currently incarcerated in the Franklin County Corrections Center and diagnosed with a mental health and/or co-occurring disorder. We've had tremendous success working with this population and linking them to these peer support specialists. This resolution specifically requests your approval of extension contracts with 2 of our peer support specialists, Ms. Marcia White in the amount of $4,000 and Ms. Valerie Coleman in the amount of $4,000. And I'm really pleased, I apologize, Commissioners, $8,000 each. $4,000 were opened in purchase orders for this calendar year, but they're actually contracts in the amount of $8,000. And then I'm really excited to bring a new contract before you for Mr. Ryan Newsom. Ryan will begin our work in the jail working with justice-involved males who are receiving medication-assisted treatment. He'll be asked to follow these individuals post-release for up to 6 months to ensure there's a continuity of care there. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of the 2 contracts, extension in the amount of $8,000 each, and the new professional services contract in the amount of $10,000.
There's no questions, move approval of 53219.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 532-19 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 533-19, approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $10,144,197.59.
Commissioners, good morning. Chris Johnston representing the Franklin County Purchasing Department. Resolution before you seeks approval of 180 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Resolution includes 35 eligible POs totaling approximately $2.3 million. These are purchase orders for goods and services that have a higher likelihood of participation by small and emerging business enterprises. Of these purchase orders, 13 were awarded to small and emerging businesses, totaling $2,235,347.96. which is 37% of the total eligible purchase order volume and 96% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I recommend approval of this resolution.
No questions, I'll move approval of 53319.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution for 533-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go back to item 2 for the sheriff. Good morning, Sheriff.
Resolution for 522-19, resolution authorizing a mugshot system access agreement with the Ohio State University.
Would you like to sit down?
I can sit. Apologize for being late, Commissioners.
Okay.
Rush day to day.
Understand. Anything you want to add on this resolution?
No, ma'am. We, Ohio State University wants to partner with the Sheriff's Office for their mugshot system, and we're in complete favor of entering into an agreement and sharing the information with them just to help for identification
Great.
anytime somebody's arrested, and we share that information with them.
Okay.
Beautiful. If there's no questions or comments, I'll move approval of 52219.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution for 522-19 has been adopted. Resolution for 523-19, authorizing the acceptance of an Ohio Drug Law Enforcement Fund grant for the Franklin County Drug Task Force in the amount of $50,000.
The Franklin County Drug Task Force obviously has been very busy and continues to be so. The opiate crisis doesn't seem to be going away. You've seen recently articles where the overdoses continue, and we even experienced that within the jail, unfortunately. So continuation of the grant would really help out. We're in partnership with Williamsburg, Clinton Township, Homeland Security, DEA, and our own detectives, and very much need the money to continue our operations to fight the drugs in the community.
All right, if there's no questions, I'll move approval of 52319.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution for 523-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks, Commissioners. Thank you.
Thanks.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution for 534-19, resolution submitting names to the State Emergency Planning Commission for final approval and appointment to the local Emergency Planning Committee, known in Franklin County as the Chemical Emergency Preparedness Advisory Council, or CPAP.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. The Chemical Emergency Preparedness Advisory Council, CPAC, serves as the official local emergency planning committee for Franklin County. The Board of Commissioners are charged under the revised code to submit a list of names for recommendation and final approval by the State Emergency Response Commission. Attached, you will find all of the names for recommendation and approval by the State Emergency Planning Commission for a term from August 1st, 2019 through July 31st, 2021. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
If there's no comments or questions, I'll move approval of 53419.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution for 534-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution for 535-19, resolution amending the travel policy for Franklin County employees.
Good morning, Commissioner. Zach Choleric with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution in amending the travel policy clarifies some language on including a reference to procurement cards as well as on transportation expenses, requiring each office to determine if they're reasonable and appropriate. And finally, with regard to travel by airplane, we've incorporated some language provided by the Regional Airport Authority that the lowest rate should be at the lowest logical rate, and that the determination can include the savings associated with reduction in travel time from nonstop flights. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there's no questions, move approval of 53519.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution for 535-19 has been adopted.
Thank you. Any journalizations? We are adjourned.
You'd like to keep it?